15.4 million unauthorized immigrants living in the U.S. as of 2025.
The Trump administration says that it will pay $1,000 to voluntarily leave the country.
Roughly 4.6% of the total population. They cross the border without inspection or entered legally, but remain past their authorized period. Immigrant families pay smugglers $150,000 US to plan dangerous routes into the United States. 65,700 immigrants deported in the first 100 days of the Trump administration.
Today I signed an executive order to launch the first ever self-deportation program for illegal aliens to leave America.
Will this lead to labor shortage concerns for the U.S.? Migrants have the American dream. Their families commonly pay smugglers between $48,000 to $150,000 US each for passage from India to the U.S. Smugglers set up the Dunki route to reach America. Migrants travel by flight or bus to Colombia, then travel boldly through the 97-kilometer-long jungle between Panama and Colombia, where official records show over 500 lives lost. In this jungle, you have to keep walking continuously. You cannot stop. The smugglers move first, and behind them, there are about 15 to 20 members in a queue. If someone gets tired, then no one stops for him. The group moves ahead. We have heard the stories that smugglers are scammers. Some migrants say the jungle isn't the only danger. Smugglers have threatened lives when families couldn't meet last-minute demands. From Panama, they push north through Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, and Guatemala, eventually crossing into southern Mexico. In Mexico, migrants often scale the 18-foot border wall or slip through the small openings smugglers have cut. Once on U.S. soil, they may destroy their passports before approaching Border Patrol. There, they formally request asylum and are detained for several days. Behind the scenes, their smugglers arrange legal representation, often securing an attorney who champions their case. If the asylum claim succeeds, they're released into the U.S., effectively free to build a new life. As U.S.-Mexico border enforcement tightened, routes through Canada became more attractive. Travelers fly into Toronto or Vancouver and then pay another leg of the journey, often by van or in small groups, to Emerson, Manitoba, or other crossing points where a short trek can put them in North Dakota or Minnesota. It was January 2022 when Jagdish, his wife Vishalaban, and their 2 children, migrants from Dingushi, Gujarat, were found frozen just 12 miles from the U.S. border, caught in a deadly blizzard that dropped to -35°C. They were so close. Their bodies were found huddled together, Jagdish even clutching his toddler son, illustrating how smugglers pressed families into crossing on foot without winter gear or local knowledge. In Dingusha and neighboring villages, it's said that 1 in every household has someone in the U.S. 2 men, Harsh Kumar Dirty Harry Patel and Stephen Shand, were convicted in November of 2024 for their roles in the Patel family tragedy and broader smuggling network. Authorities noted they knew of severe weather risks but kept moving migrants regardless of blizzard warnings. Beyond border crossings, immigrants fuel a massive flow of remittances. Over $150 billion sent home from the U.S. in 2024 alone. For villages in Gujarat, these transfers underwrite daily expenses, education, and local businesses. They take life risk chances for their American dream. Demographically, the unauthorized population skews toward prime working ages. 79% are between 18 and 54 years old. Approximately 62% hail from Mexico or the Northern Triangle countries, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. There are approximately 15.4 million individuals residing in the U.S. without legal authorization, 4.6% of the total population. This figure represents those who either crossed the border without inspection or entered legally but remained past their authorized period. 72% of the unauthorized immigrants reside in just 11 states, with California and Texas alone each hosting over 2 million. As of the end of the fiscal year, the FY 2024, over 1.3 million asylum applications remain pending in the immigration courts. Most people who get asylum don't turn to crime. They come here to build a better life. Big companies often won't hire them, but other Indian immigrants who arrived earlier and started their own small businesses do. These employers know asylum seekers need work badly, so they offer simple jobs for about $7 to $8 an hour. The pay is low, but these jobs let newcomers earn money legally, learn new skills, and start fitting into life in the U.S. While the U.S. benefits from educated newcomers, engineers, doctors, academics, their departure can leave critical shortages in origin countries. India and the Philippines, for example, both lose thousands of skilled nurses and IT specialists each year. This brain drain immigration raises ethical questions even as American hospitals and tech firms gain vital expertise. By joining the workforce, immigrants increase the size of the labor pool and help businesses expand. Whether they're picking fruits in California, staffing hotels in Florida, their work boosts production and overall GDP. Many industries, from agriculture and construction to elder care and hospitality, face chronic shortages of willing workers. Immigrants step into these vital roles, keeping farms harvested, homes built, and senior care centers staffed. Immigrants even start businesses at higher rates than native-born Americans. From mom-and-pop grocery stores to cutting-edge tech startups, these ventures create jobs, foster local economic activity. Immigrant scientists, engineers, and researchers contribute significantly to American R&D. Immigrant communities maintain ties with their home countries, facilitating trade, tourism, and investment. Do not forget the roughly 1 million international students on F-1 visas. They contribute over $45 billion annually in tuition and living expenses, support 450,000 American jobs, and constitute a prime talent pipeline. Universities compete fiercely to recruit STEM students, many of whom stay after graduation on H-1B visas, filling critical labor market gaps. Immigrants are behind nearly 30% of U.S. startups, valued at over $1 billion. Founders like Adobe's John Warnock, British, and Tesla's Elon Musk, South African, underscore how cross-border perspectives fuel breakthrough ideas. Tech hubs from Silicon Valley to Austin thrive on this global talent mix, something homegrown labor markets alone can't replicate. While immigrants bring many benefits to the United States, critics point to several challenges that can arise when large numbers arrive. Immigrants' problems for USA? When thousands of newcomers settle in a community, particularly those lacking legal status, local schools, hospitals, and social service agencies can become overwhelmed. Classrooms expand rapidly, forcing districts to hire more teachers or cut programs, while emergency rooms see higher uncompensated care costs when uninsured immigrants rely on them for basic needs. In low-wage sectors, restaurants, construction, agriculture, immigrants can accept jobs at $7 to $10 an hour, undercutting pay for native-born workers. This wage pressure is most acute during economic downturns, when American workers vying for the same entry-level positions may find it harder to negotiate better pay or benefits. Because many undocumented workers lack formal contracts and work off the books, employers may bypass minimum wage laws, workers' compensation, or overtime pay. This creates an uneven playing field. Compliant businesses face higher labor costs, while those hiring unauthorized labor can underbid competitors, distorting local economies. Some estimates suggest that certain jurisdictions spend more per capita on public schooling for the children of undocumented immigrants than they receive back in local tax revenue.
Two state lawmakers just filed a House bill that would allow some schools to opt out of enrolling undocumented students.
High immigration metro areas often see rents and home prices climb faster than in other regions. Rapid population growth in major metro areas adds stress on water supplies, public transit, and green spaces. California's Central Valley, for instance, now registers one of the country's highest per capita groundwater demands, driven in part by agricultural labor force expansion. Imagine the U.S. suddenly expelled every non-citizen, unauthorized immigrants like refugees, students, tourists, and guest workers, then closed its borders so no one without a U.S. passport could enter. First, farms and factories would lose workers, so crops would rot and factories would shut down. Hospitals, nursing homes, and schools would run out of staff, leaving people without care or education. Colleges would lose thousands of students, cutting billions in tuition dollars and forcing programs to close. Stores, restaurants, and delivery services would struggle or close, making food and everyday goods much more expensive and harder to find. Other countries would protest and might stop American tourists or goods in return. In the end, removing everyone without a U.S. passport and sealing the borders would break the economy, harm people's lives, and hurt America's reputation around the world. A balanced strategy can turn immigration into a clear advantage. 1. Harden the border with technology. Deploy drones, high-resolution cameras, seismic sensors, and rapid response patrols to close every gap and deter unauthorized crossings. 2. Align visas with workforce needs. Set annual caps by occupation, region, and skill level, issuing new visas only where verified labor market shortages exist. 3. Rigorous pre-entry vetting. Require every visa applicant, tourist, worker, student, or asylum seeker to attend an in-person interview at a U.S. consulate, including checks against watch lists, criminal databases, and overstay risk algorithms. 4. Universal detention until decision. Detain all individuals caught crossing without authorization until their admissibility is fully adjudicated, eliminating catch and release loopholes. 5. Proactive breach testing unit. Form a specialized team of 10 to 15 operatives whose sole mission is to attempt entry without documents, identify vulnerability points, and quickly seal any new routes they discover. Do you have any ideas we missed? Drop them in the comments below.